Hi, hello, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a fox eye with an ombre lip. So stay tuned. So in today's video, I'm going to be going in with the Revolution Conceal and Define Foundation in the shade F8. Now with my foundations, I generally like to apply them to the back of my hand in a little puddle, like that, and then apply them because you can control how much you're putting on more precisely. And I don't know if this is my shade at the moment, but we're going to find out. Because this foundation does have a slightly more pink undertone on me. But anyway, I'll be right back when I'm done with foundation. Okay, so this is the foundation applied. As you can see, it's a pretty good match. In summer, this would not match me. In winter, it matches me. So, as you can see, this foundation is a pretty matte finish. I mean, it is minus the sheen from my skincare. But that's to be expected because I do go quite heavy with skincare because skincare is more important. I mean, not more important than makeup, but I mean, if your skincare is wrong, your foundation and makeup is not going to look right, especially your base. So for concealer, I'm going to be going in with the Infallible More Than Concealer from Loreal in the shade 328 Biscuit, and the Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer in the shade C6, which is 2 shades lighter than my foundation. So, going in with the L'Oreal, I put a little bit there. That was a lot actually. A little bit there, but I need to match the amount, which I am petrified for this much concealer. A little bit there, there, and where I need coverage. But actually I don't need a lot of coverage today because my skin's doing quite well. I'm not breaking out at the moment, which is great. Now with the Revolution, I'm going to highlight. I'm going to leave the concealer under my eyes for last. And just beat it in. And highlighting the nose is just going to make it a little bit easier on the contour because as you can see it's brighter now. And now, before I do my under eyes, I'm just going to get my translucent powder ready for when I bake. With the Revolution Translucent Setting Powder, and then also with the Maybelline Lasting Setting Fixing Powder. I can't speak. Then the concealer. Oh, this is a lot of concealer. Oh my word. I definitely went very heavy-handed with the concealer today. That's fun. Just blend it for the gods and hope for the best. Now going in with the Revolution Setting Powder I mentioned earlier. I'm just going to lightly set, and then once I've lightly set, I'm going to bake because this needs it. Okay, now going in with the L'Oreal setting powder to set the face because I want this to be a matte look, and just tapping off the excess on my finger because as I learned editing my last video, tapping off on a mirror is very loud. Oh wow. This powder is beautiful, and I forget that every time I use it until I use it. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's beautiful. Okay, so this is my face, fully set, looking matte for the gods. I'm going to go in with bronzer and contour. So, for bronzer, I'm going to be dipping into the Revolution Ultra Sculpt and Contour Kit in Ultra Fair CO1, which looks like this. And for contour, I'm going in with a deeper shade, which is CO4 Medium Light, which looks like this. And in both, I'm going to be dipping into the bronzer shade, but the darker one works as a contour for me. So what I do is I literally dip in the lightest I possibly can, tap off the excess, tap it in my hand, and then I just press it into my cheekbones. So if you're ever struggling to find cheekbones, go. And you see that line that it creates on both sides? That's your cheekbone. It's the easy way. Unless you can have prominent cheekbones, then you're blessed. So now going slightly on my cheekbones and slightly under, which for this I'm going to be going quite low under to create that hollow, and dragging it slightly down and just buffing in to the cheekbone. As you can see, it creates subtle dimension. Now to do the same on the other side, I want very defined cheekbones for this look. See? Brings the face in. Like I'm applying next to no product and just taking time blending. And now going into the lighter palette, I'm dipping into the bronzer shade I'm dipping quite heavy, like as you can see, but I'm doing the same thing, tapping it off, pressing it into my hand to get most of it off. I'm just going to use this to diffuse any harsh edges that could be there from the shade that I used to contour. And I really just pull the shade up and into the hairline. And then with the lighter shade, I'm going to do the border of my face here, because I'm going to be blending the eyeshadow into it, so almost like working it like that, sculpting the face further, doing the other side, and just building up more pigment. I never do this. I never bronze my jaw, but I'm going to try it today. And for blush, no surprise here, because I used this in my last video, because I'm obsessed with this palette for blush and bronzing and contouring the face. We're going with the Revolution X Rachel Leary. So I'm dipping into the shade Rosé, like just a little flush, like just that little bit there. And as you could tell, I'll focus my blush here to bring the face up, lift those cheekbones that are non-existent, in other words. And you'll see I'll alternate between pressing the product and blending. Gives you the most effortless look in the end. And might as well just take it along the nose. Okay, so for eyeshadow, I just grabbed a handful of eyeshadow brushes that I assumed I'm going to need. And yeah, let's get into it. As you can see, I decided to leave my bake on in case anything falls, like any pigment, because knowing myself, it will. Because sometimes with eyeshadow, I'm not too careful, although I like to build it up. Makes no sense, but whatever. So, with the James Charles X Morphe palette, the mini to be precise, I'm going to be going in with Punch Me first. I'm going to be taking that on a blending brush, and I'm just going to run it through the crease. I did set my eyes so that blending will be a bit easier, but if you want more pigment, then don't set your eye base. But if you want an easy blend, set your eye base. Okay, now going back into the Light Revolution contour kit, into the bronzer shade. I'm bending that into the bronzer, and I'm doing a mixture of circular motions and back and forth motions, like circle, back and forth. Okay, so with a different, more sparse and fluffy blending brush, I'm going into the shade T and mixing it with Punch Me, which I'm going to focus into the crease and outer V. Now going with a brush from earlier that had Punch Me, I'm just going to go over this and blend that. Okay, going in with a bit of No Beans mixed with Punch Me, just to try and warm up the outer corner, taking a bit of flashback on a flat packer brush, basically faking a cut crease. And this is why I left the setting powder on underneath, because this could leave a lot of fallout. Now to make it even on the other side, and now to wipe off the bake. And now going in with Benny to do the inner corner. That's the inner corners done. And now for the outer corners, the wing, if you will. Now going in with a bit more of that initial shade Punch Me, just to blend that wing ever so slightly. And that's pretty much the eye look done. And I am living for that eye look. And now for highlighter, I'm going pretty light-handed because this is meant to be a matte look, as we can tell. So I'm going into the Rachel Leary palette that I used earlier in the shade Aphrodite, this one, which looks like a pinky champagne, but it comes across pretty champagne. I don't know if my lights are going to do it justice, but I'm going to do it pretty light-handed anyway, so it's not going to be done justice regardless. Like that little sheen, it's all I want. And then going with a detailing dense eyeshadow brush, I literally do highlighter here, literally right there. And right there. Okay, now for lips, I'm going to be going in with my Estee Lauder Double Wear Lip Liner in 08 Sparse. And just for reference, or just for future reference, the lip I'm going to go in with the two lipsticks are liquid lipsticks from Revolution. One is in the shade Chauffeur, which looks like that. And then the one to do the ombre with is Ruby, which looks like that. Both are gorgeous in my honest opinion. So I'm just going to go line my lip with my Estee and I'll be right back. Oh yeah, quickly before I go and line my lip, I just want to say one thing about the eyeshadow. With the eyeshadow, with the inner corner and the normal wing and liner, make sure that it's at the same angle, or else your eye is going to curl down or up and it's not going to look very flattering. So I'm going to go do my lip I'm going to go line my lip and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the finished lip once I'm done lining. Now to go in with the Revolution lipsticks. First, I'm going to do a thin layer of Chauffeur over the whole lip. And then I'm going to ombre this just in the center. Now that's the first shade done. And quickly, before it dries, you want to apply a little bit of this to the center, the Revolution liquid lipstick in the shade Ruby. That's the finished look. It's so pretty and complements the eye very well actually. But that's what my finger looks like now. So for mascara, I'm going in with L'Oreal's Lash Paradise. Now I don't want very intense lashes with this. And that's one side done. Do you see that before and after? It's insane. Those are the lashes done. But I'm going to do my lower lashes and I'm going to try and separate the top lashes a bit. Okay, as you can see, this is a full face. Done. As you can see, this is a full face. Done. A fox eye, an ombre lip. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed, please don't forget to give it a like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified the next time I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.